After a visit to a school fete, I had to tell my neighbour their cat had been run over, while my own face was painted like a kitten.
How did you find out the cat had been killed?
Because it was killed regrettably close to our house.
And how was it killed, sorry?
Unfortunately, it was a truck that shouldn't have been... it was one of the very... not just a normal-sized lorry, a very, very long lorry that should not really have thought that it could drive around those streets, but was attempting to, and it flattened...
I feel like this is the truth, except for the part about the truck and that actually you killed this cat.
What was the cat called?
She was called Jenny.
Jenny the cat. Jenny.
What was the owner called? Tiddles? What happened when they answered the door? Talk us through that conversation, 'cause that must have been very awkward.
Had you still, at this point, not remembered that your face was painted like that?
No, I didn't realise until after I told them, and then I went home and went, oh, I just had to tell so-and-so.
So they've opened the door. Can you remember anything about the first few words of that conversation?
Well, it was very awkward. I've never had to do that before. So I said...
Meow!
They said hello in a sort of cheery, oh, maybe he's come round for some sort of jolly reason.
Well, no one gave them that impression.
And I said, I'm really sorry, but I'm afraid that I've just seen Jenny get run over.
And they said...
What?
What did they say then? Oh, sorry, you're acting.
They said what?
I thought you were asking me, sorry. I genuinely thought you didn't understand the question, but you were in character, sorry.
Yeah. If we get to a point where you're asking questions I don't understand, something has happened.
When you realised you had your makeup on still at home...
My wife pointed out to me. I came home and I said, oh, this dreadful thing's just happened. And my wife said, you know that you've still got your face painted like a kitten? And I said, oh, no.
Did you and your wife look at each other in shock and just feel terrible, or did you both instantly start laughing?
She laughed immediately.
She's an awful woman, though.
No, you're not. Ignore the Irish man.
You're the best female truck driver in the world.
What are you going to say,
Say lie.
Say
OK. Miles, truth or lie?
Oh, ye of little... It's a lie.
So, Sam, what is Lucy to you?
So, this is Lucy, and last year her pig delivered my Christmas card.
Miles, how do you know Lucy?
This is Lucy. I know Lucy. When I had to have an intimate medical examination, I inadvertently brought her with me.
David, what is your relationship with Lucy?
This is Lucy. Together, we discovered that I have the hearing of a rat.
So, Lee, where do you want to start?
I'll start with Sam. How do you know this lady?
She lives in my village, or where I used to live.
OK. And is she a farmer?
Yes.
Right. Did her pig deliver your Christmas card from her, or did her pig deliver your Christmas card to somebody else?
No, her pig delivered the Christmas card that was for me to me.
To you?
Yeah.
Anybody want to say the joke or not?
Did the pig have it in its little snout? Because if it did, wouldn't it have got very wet? Because pig snouts are very wet.
Are they?
Yes.
You never kissed a pig? Very wet.
Oh, yes.
It actually takes a while to get used to.
So, you know, like you get a little dog, a little harness.
Oh, the Christmas card harness.
It is a harness, like you would have a lead on a dog, and the cards were there.
Slid under the harness.
Yeah.
How far is your house from her house?
About 2 miles.
2 miles.
But the pig hasn't walked 2 miles. The pig has been driven to the village, and then off the pig trots. And I was doing it's Christmas, right, dinner.
It's Christmas Day?
Yes.
It's a bit late for Christmas cards, Christmas Day.
Well, that's why they have to resort to delivery by pig.
I'm washing the pots, looking out the window. Really lovely day, beautiful, beautiful. And I see Barry, the pig.
Barry?
Barry, the pig is called Barry.
So you'd met Barry before?
Yeah, everyone knows Barry. Barry goes to the pub and everything. And so Barry's...
I hope he doesn't have the port scratchings.
Oh, that's horrible. That's really horrible.
It's like that going, tastes like my brother Pete, this.
Awful. No, anyway, so he's toppling along, and I'm like, oh, oh, I hope he's all right. So I go out to check he's all right.
Could you just talk us through how you did that again?
Oh.
Where did the pig go after you'd taken the card?
I picked Pig up because he's only little, pot-bellied pig.
I think I've read recently that there's no such thing as a miniature pot-bellied pig. All there is little pigs that are young. I know a rescue centre that takes loads of pigs because people have sold them as pot-bellied pigs and they're not.
George
Yeah, you have
Clooney's
to be
got a pig.
careful with that, though, because they can grow to be really enormous and people think they're really cute and little and all the rest of it.
Yeah, but that's the same with kids, isn't it?
OK. Who would you like to question next?
Sorry, Miles, can you remind me?
Yeah, when I had to have an intimate medical examination, I inadvertently brought Lucy with me.
OK. Tell us about the medical examination.
Right, well...
Whereabouts on your body?
Yeah.
Well, it was an intimate medical examination, so already I suspect your options are limited.
I'm going to go in the bottom area.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got to choose front or back.
This reminds me of the conversation we had the first time we met.
Yeah.
Was it back?
So,
it was back.
It was back.
Yes,
it was
back.
the back.
Back bottom.
Basically, I was working,
Yes.
and then when I got to work, I felt ill.
Right.
And so I needed to go to hospital.
There was pains down below.
Yes. And Lucy, very kindly, rang NHS Direct for me.
Right, who is Lucy?
Why?
Lucy was a colleague.
What situation were you in at this time?
So I was rehearsing a play.
OK, and is Lucy an actor?
No, Lucy is... she does the technical stuff. She's a stage manager.
This could be true, because I don't think Miles was quite sure what she does for a living. I don't know, but when I say cappuccino, it arrives.
And so the NHS Direct said, right, you need to go to the nearest hospital. Mm-hmm. And the reason that Lucy came with me to the hospital is because the thing that I was rehearsing was a play that only had me in. And so Lucy was told to go with me so that we could run the lines.
What was the play?
It was a one-man play that I was in.
The Downpipe Blues.
It was called... it was called The Life I Lead.
So what happens? You get to the hospital.
So we go to the hospital, and we're sitting in the waiting room, and someone comes and says to us, because we're sitting next to each other, can you come in now? So we just do as we're told, and we get up and we go in. So I thought that must be what's meant to happen. They spoke to both of us.
That's the problem with having the same word for you singular and you plural. We should go back to thou.
So we went in, and the doctor, she says, I've got to examine you, so what you need to do is take your pants and your trousers off, get up onto that bed there, turn onto your side so your back is facing me. And I went, OK, and at that point, Lucy went, I really don't think I'm meant to be in here. and the doctor, she said, no, it's absolutely fine for partners to be here. And she went, I'm not his partner, I'm his colleague. And that's when Lucy left the room and the examination reached its very happy conclusion. Yeah.
Now, what about David? Just remind us, David.
This is Lucy, and together we discovered that I have the hearing of a rat.
Oh, yeah. How did this get discovered?
Well, in our house, we were wondering for some time if there might be some mice about. I'd seen a mouse outside, and I think my wife had sort of wondered whether she'd sensed some scurrying, but it was
You weren't
probably...
staying at Disneyland, were you? It wasn't a 7-foot person with a French accent again, was it?
Yeah. Anyway, I then went away for a couple of days for work,
OK.
which I occasionally get. I then returned home late one night and went into the kitchen, and I could hear a distinct, high-pitched... And I went out of the kitchen, and it stopped. And I went into the kitchen, and I could hear it. And I thought, is there something wrong with me, other than the usual? And I wonder, is it something weird that the fridge is doing? Or the wine fridge? Yes, we're doing OK. or the dishwasher? It's like a dream come true. Anyway, I'm not sure. I asked my wife about it, and it turns out she's bought something which is a plug-in mouse-scaring noise machine. And it was the frequency that was being emitted by this plug-in machine.
And it should be inaudible to humans.
Should be inaudible to humans.
And where does Lucy come into this story?
Well, I mentioned it to my doctor, and they said I should have a hearing test because it's an unusual thing, and I wouldn't want to only hear things that rats and mice could hear. So I went to have my ears tested by Lucy.
Nothing else, though? I mean, if the dog whistle went off in the park, would you hear it?
Well, I don't know. I heard that. I don't know what frequency that was.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah,
Did you hear anything? Did you hear it? I didn't hear anything.
No, there was a little sort of rodenty sneeze there that Rob did, which probably only I can hear. I like to think it's a superpower, really.
All right, we need an answer. Lee's team, is Lucy Sam's farmyard friend, Miles's checkup chum, or David's ear expert?
It's Miles for me, Lee.
Miles?
Yeah, because I have so many problems with my bottom, that I walk into the doctor's surgery like this, and he just says, "Hello, Mr. Mortimer."
You say it's Miles?
For me, yeah.
Have you had similar examinations?
Every single week.
What about you, Sarah? Who are you going to say?
Oh, Sam.
Sam, for you. I'll go Miles.
You say it's Miles?
I think it might be Miles.
OK. Lucy, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Lucy, and Miles took me to his intimate examination.
Yes, Lucy is Miles's checkup chum. Thank you very much, Lucy.
Every morning, I eat one of those mini multipack cereals, but to save time and washing up, I pour the milk straight into the packet.
David's team.
One of the mini variety pack cereals.
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
Are you often in a rush of a morning? Why are you needing to save time, please?
What I don't enjoy doing is washing up, and I've taken a sort of stand. I bought a dishwasher, and my wife doesn't like dishwashers, so she insists that I wash everything up.
Wow.
What is it about dishwashers that Mrs. Jupp objects to?
Yeah.
She objects to the noise. She objects
Oh, they're
to
so
they are
noisy,
very
aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like a pneumatic drill in the corner of the kitchen.
If you have a problem with some of my wife's opinions, you must take this up with her, Rob. She objects to the rise of the machines.
Does she think that the dishwasher represents the thin end of some kind of robotic takeover wedge?
No, robotic takeover wedge is the very phrase, David.
Where does she stand on the Hoover?
That is not how a Hoover operates.
Miles, what are the cereals you get in those little boxes?
This is the test, isn't it?
Well, you get Frosties,
Good
Rice
stuff.
Krispies,
Nice.
Yep.
cornflakes, Crunchy Nut cornflakes, Cocoa Pops.
3 more to go.
What's your favourite?
If you don't get this right, this last one, it'll be Cheerio to you.
That reminds me. Hula hoops. What are they? No, Cheerios. And then it's actually on a rotation, so there will be some swaps. You don't always get 8 separate.
Can we trouble you for a full mime?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You've got a little box of Cocoa Pops there.
I draw up the inner bag and I open it like this carefully.
Yeah, draw
Nice
out its little underwear.
You've given away a lot there, David.
So I pour the milk into the bag and then I eat the cereal, and then when there's a little bit of milk left over, I pour that into my mouth.
Meanwhile, his wife sat in the corner weeping.
Do you find no problem of sort of sloppage between bag and inner cardboard?
Well, if I spilled something, I would get some sort of disposable material, such as kitchen roll, and wipe it up and then drop it straight into the...
You don't find that something sort of leaks down, a bit of sticky goo, in a way that would be displeasing to someone as tidy as you?
No,
This is like C-3PO talking to R2-D2.
I don't have any breakfast time seepage issues.
Well, when you've been married a while, that sort of stuff does tend to tail off. What do you think, truth or lie?
Well, what's clear is that Miles's wife is Amish. he's not accepting of her religious views.
Yeah.
And that's very, very sad. What do you think, Stephen?
I think he's thrashing about and drowning in a lye soup.
What are you thinking, Miranda?
Because it's so ridiculous, I'm veering towards the truth.
You think true?
Yeah, why not?
You think lie?
I think a lie.
I think it's a lie.
You think it's a lie? OK. Miles, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
I was telling a lie.
It was a lie. Yeah. Miles doesn't pour milk straight into cereal packets to save time. Right, Miles, first of all, what is John to you?
John and I were paid to fight together in a supermarket, dressed as gladiators.
Kate, how do you know John?
This is John, and when I was in Africa, he and I dressed up in a pantomime giraffe costume in order to get close-up shots of giraffes in the wild.
Lee, what is your relationship with John?
This is John. Despite being total strangers, we were once forced to share a bed when we were double-booked into the same hotel room.
David, where do you want to start?
Well, maybe with Kate, because what I'm reluctant to believe is that the best way of lulling giraffes into a false sense of security is to try and disguise yourself as a giraffe, because I reckon a giraffe, it takes one to know one.
He thought that if we dressed up as a giraffe, then he could put the camera on a kind of periscope thing up the neck of the giraffe and get that evening shot of the giraffes against the sunset. Yeah. Now, you said very astutely that it takes a giraffe to know a giraffe.
Yeah.
If we tried to do this in daylight, it would have failed completely because giraffes have extremely good day vision, but their night vision isn't very good, and that's why we decided to try it.
Why is it then necessary to disguise as a giraffe at all? Why not just take a stepladder?
They are not completely blind. They're just not necessarily going to worry too much about whether you're made out of polyester or real fur.
Do you just show us how you did this?
How it worked.
How it worked.
Would you like me to do that with John?
Lee would be the perfect partner for this.
Lee, if you come...
He has a look of the wild about him.
Here.
Kate's going to demonstrate the whole giraffe doppelganger with you, Lee.
So you are in the front, OK? You need to stand about there. And actually, could you three stand up and all just be giraffes in the wild with the sun behind you?
Yes. OK.
Do you ever get the feeling she's mocking us?
OK, so you've got this big giraffe costume on, and it's got a kind of pole up the back as its spine.
Right.
You have got a camera on a pole poking out of the mouth of the giraffe, right towards them, OK?
Right.
I am behind you.
Kate, at what point do you say action?
I've got the laptop here.
Right.
So I'm checking the focus and saying to John, OK, you're nicely framed up. That's looking lovely. There was a
By the way, I'm a meerkat.
Excellent. You're doing a very good job. No.
All right, well, I think that's made it a lot clearer. Let's say a big thank you to our giraffes. But most of all, a big round of applause for our meerkat. Right. Who would you like to question next?
Yes, Miles. You had to dress up as
A gladiator.
a gladiator.
Yeah.
As in a Roman gladiator, or as in from the TV show Gladiators?
A Roman gladiator.
So the sort of sword and sandals.
Yeah, breastplates.
What sort of gladiator were you?
We each had a sword and a shield, and we did battle.
And this was in a supermarket?
Yes.
And what, were you employed, or was this just...
We were in...
Or a distraction technique, so that someone else could steal biscuits.
Some cakes.
We were promoting a range of foods.
Fresh lion meat, you know, the usual.
We were promoting a range of foods, the Viva Italia delicatessen range. I don't know if you remember when Safeways rolled that out. We would have this fight, and then one of us would die, or be beaten, be vanquished, and the other one would say, "Oh, how did you get the strength to beat me?" And you'd say, "From aisle 7, where I've been feasting on the Viva Italia delicatessen range."
What about Lee? Lee, remind us, what is your link to John? I've forgotten.
This is John.
Yes.
And we were once forced to share a hotel room together, or share a bed in a hotel room, because we've been double booked.
So, where was the hotel, Lee?
The hotel was in Scotland.
OK. Do you want to be more specific than that?
OK. It was right in Scotland.
OK. Be more specific?
More specific?
Yeah.
I was at Isle of Skye.
OK. Oh, yeah, fine. I believe you. What were you doing?
I was at a wedding.
Yeah, when was this wedding?
9 years ago.
You came back from the wedding, so
I came back from the wedding.
Got to the hotel.
I've had a bit too much to drink.
Right.
I go to reception. I say hello. I'm. Well, I'd have to say. And
9 years ago. Yes, you.
But so I told them who I was. She leans round. She gives me the key. I go upstairs. No lift.
Right. She doesn't in any way go, by the way, there is a large man already in this room.
No, obviously, she wasn't aware of the mix-up. Otherwise, she would have stopped me, wouldn't she? She didn't... As I walked off, she didn't go... What? Nothing. You'll see.
So what happened? You were given the key by reception and then opened the door and he was in there?
Correct.
At which point you said...
I was a bit drunk, so I just assumed that there'd been a mix-up, wrong key, I was in the wrong room, so I just went, "Oh, sorry." And he went, and I sort of, I can't remember exactly.
He said what?
He went, "Oh, sorry." You don't mock him, wait till he opens his mouth in a minute. And Rob says, "Come on, who are you?" And he goes,
And you go back down to reception to say...
I said, "You've given me the wrong key."
Yeah. Then she said, "Sorry, there's been a mix-up."
Been a mix-up, and she said...
You're going to have to go back in there.
I was in the right room, he was in the wrong room, but he checked in earlier on, so it wasn't her mistake, it was a mistake early on by somebody else.
Why didn't you investigate the possibility of sharing with the person in the other room?
Oh, yeah. What I did was I went round all the rooms. I don't think so, do you? You're looking at it, soldier.
When the two of you realised that you were going to have to share a bed together, did you have a kind of a negotiation?
I have never been to bed with anyone where negotiations have been involved. That's not completely true. But,
No, what I mean is, did you say, for example, I like to sleep on this side of the bed? I'm happiest on the right-hand side?
Before we even got to that point, we both tried to not sleep in the same bed. I didn't just go, "What the hell are you doing? I'm going to sleep on the left and you can sleep on the right." Goodbye.
Right, so we need an answer. What do you think?
I really don't know. Whatever we say, if we get it wrong, we'll look like we've believed something ridiculous. I don't believe that the best way of photographing giraffes at sunset is to disguise yourself as a giraffe. I just two actors fighting in a supermarket. But why? If you're pushing a range of sort of Italian delicatessen foods, are you going to imply that they give you gladiatorial strength?
Well, it's straight to kill somebody.
That's not what people are looking for in that kind of, in a nice bit of pastrami. But will it be able to give me the strength to murder?
And also, don't you think that John looks like the kind of bloke you would bump into at a Scottish wedding?
See, I know it sounds weird. I kind of believe Kate's version more. Yeah.
You think Lee?
I think Lee, yeah.
I think Lee. But what if it's Miles, then? Then that's awful, it's Miles, then. We're going to say Lee.
You're going to say Lee, the wedding, the bed, the night together. Yes. So, John, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm John, and I was once paid to fight Miles in a supermarket.
Yeah, John and Miles were paid to fight each other in a supermarket while dressed as gladiators.
It's a horrible, stupid game.
Whenever I'm in a situation where I don't know what to do, I ask myself the question, what would Cliff Richard do?
Lee's team.
Right, give me an example. Say you don't know if you're going to go on a skiing holiday or a summer holiday. What would you do in that situation?
Well, I say to myself, what would Cliff do?
Why Cliff Richard as well?
I just think because he's someone that lives his life in a way that I believe we should all aspire to. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
So tell me this: what was the last dilemma you had where the Cliff Richard thing helped?
Well, you go to Pret, and as ever, the queuing's a complete disgrace. And you think, what would Cliff Richard do? Well, I walk out.
When did you first let Cliff into your life?
In a way, I feel more like I've been let into his.
So, have you got a lot of Cliff's albums?
Yes.
Well, I think you know where this is going, Miles. Of all the albums, all of them, I just want one album. That's all I want.
Greatest Hits Volume 2.
So what do you think, Lee? Is it the truth?
What do we say to that, Amelia? Do you think there's any truth in that?
I don't think we can possibly.
Not even entertain the notion?
No.
As entertaining as the notion may be.
Yeah.
Say a lie.
Say it's a lie.
OK. Miles, truth or lie?
This is actually a lie. I have just signed a publishing deal for my gritty debut crime novel featuring the exploits of detective duo Nice and Spicy.
Is it hyphenated Nice and Spicy?
Oh, no, there's a duo. One is called Nice, Jeremy Nice.
Did you think there was only one of them called Nice and Spicy? Hello, I'm Detective Inspector Nice and Spicy.
Detective Inspector Nice and Spicy and his partner, who has no name at all.
It's a duo. Jeremy Nice, Ian Spicy.
So you sat down with a blank piece of paper and you came up with Nice and Spicy.
Well, there's a backstory because Jeremy, when it starts, he's quite sad because the person he worked with, Mark Cheap, died.
So it used to be Nice and Cheap?
Yeah, that's right.
What sort of men are they, Miles?
Well, Jeremy is incredibly tall and Ian is incredibly short.
Right.
And that means they're one of the few people on their force that are given a police car with a sunroof.
Have you written a book before?
Yeah.
What was your other book called?
Other books.
How many books have you written?
Well, this is the third. So the two, if you want me to do all the maths for you.
What?
Presumably you do.
It's funny, isn't it? Because a lot of people with an Oxbridge education, they can come across as condescending and a little bit... And yet you somehow carry off beautifully, Miles.
This is because I don't have an
It's
Oxbridge
funny.
education.
Because a lot of... Oh, you don't have an Oxbridge education? What do you have?
Just an accent.
And what's this one called again?
It's called Blood in the Water.
Oh.
What's the plot of Blood in the Water?
Well, I'll tell you how it begins. I'm not
Nasty urinary tract infection.
No, I don't want to tell you too much of the plot. That's the whole point of a whodunit.
Don't worry, I'm not buying it.
Or I'll say
In fact, I've got a feeling nobody's buying it.
So, what do you think?
Definitely. I think it's a lie, Annika. Do you think it's a lie?
I think it's a lie, personally.
You think it's a lie?
Yeah.
Liz?
I think it's a lie.
I'll say a lie.
Right, Miles, it sounded lovely. Was it true or was it a lie?
It is, in fact, a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Miles hasn't written a novel about the detective duo Nice and Spicy.
As a child, my mum got so fed up with me wandering off, she made me wear a bell around my neck whenever we went shopping.
Lee's team.
Was she a cow?
I'm not sure that Miles's mother being a cow would explain it, because I don't think it's the cow's own policy to wear the bells.
So, first of all, how bad were you at wandering? Was this a regular thing?
I wouldn't stay still. Any sort of open space I would see as a thing to run towards rather than...
So
you know,
what shopping centres were you going to that was such wide spaces to run in?
I suppose Brent Cross Shopping Centre would have been our regular haunt. But
OK.
What age was this?
I would have been about probably 4 till the age of 7.
And when you were in infant school, every time you went out to the playground, did everyone think it was playtime over and straight back in again?
It was only done on family outings.
Only done on shopping days.
Shopping
OK. And is it a traditional bell with the little thing inside that clanks
what does
against
it look
the...
like?
Like a sort of cat's bell, essentially.
But hang on, there's one massive problem here. A cat is on all fours and the bell dangles. The bell is going to be touching your body and it won't dangle. Discuss.
Well, she attached it to a part of me that dangled.
What was the furthest you ever got? What were you searching for?
I hope it wasn't sparrows, because you'd never get them.
So in Brent Cross terms, I once got from John Lewis to Phoenix.
That's very nice. Miles, could I ask you to tell me how big the bell was, but accurately?
I suppose 3/4 of the size of a ping-pong ball.
Hang on.
And was it a sphere or bell-shaped?
Any bell, by definition, is bell-shaped.
What do you think, Sarah?
It sounds a bit draconian. You know, a bell round your child's neck.
Yeah, I think it would be a terrible failing of parenting, so not for me.
It's just not a system that works. If
No.
you've drifted into a Morris dance area, then you're going to have a panic attack.
Yeah.
That's what you'd have in the horror film version of your life, where you run off and then your mother's desperately looking for you, and then suddenly she sees a load of Morris dancers and it totally confuses
Lots
the
of
system.
close-ups
It'd be
of grinning Morris
horrifying.
dancers.
No, the Morris dancers, I can't hear Miles' little tinkling bell.
Well, you could be describing any Saturday of my childhood.
So what are you going to say, Lee?
We're not having it.
They're not having
We're
it.
not having
They're
this.
saying it's a lie. Miles, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
That was a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Miles' mum didn't make him wear a bell around his neck.
Every time I shower, I must adhere to my strict system for drying myself.
OK, quick as you can, what's the system for drying yourself?
Well, I always use a towel.
Weird eccentric.
Well, actually, I don't start with a towel. I sort of brush water off this arm. I can do that 20 times.
With your hand?
With my hand.
Yeah.
And then 20 times that one.
Do you dry yourself between your legs with your hands?
No, I don't, Richard.
Is it like an OCD thing where it is 20, or is it roughly 20?
Oh, it can be multiples of 20.
You're not serious.
Yeah, so like 20 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
We know what 20 is.
And then the same with that. And then 30 in the hair.
30 in the hair.
And then I go. And then I think if I'm ready to move on to the towel phase. I think I've done the arm and head thing. It's towel time.
And when did you start doing this?
In the last 2 years.
When you reach for the towel, are there any other oddities, or do you basically then proceed in what we would refer to as a conventional drying manner?
Well, I get the towel and I do 50 on the top of the head.
Right.
And then this is quite a new development, actually. Probably within the last...
The whole thing is quite a new development.
No, but
You
this...
clearly had some sort of breakdown a couple of years ago.
So now it's 50 on top and 50 behind, whereas it used to just be 50 on top.
What was it about your drying policy before this point,
question.
2 or 3 years ago, that you considered inadequate?
I was getting to a lot of towels.
How much moisture do you hold?
I am unbelievably absorbent. You, one could wring me out like a sponge.
Have you tried that? Because that might be a more efficient way of...
I don't see what it is about this system that is hard to believe or understand.
I don't like it.
No.
Don't do it.
If this turns out to be true, it's going to be a tense evening.
Do you or have you ever washed your car by hand rather than going through the drive-thru or something?
No, never.
No, really?
Never.
Never.
You're the most middle-class man I have ever met. You've never washed your own car?
I've been to the rolly one.
That's not the same, Miles. Getting the coin and putting it in the slot does not constitute manual labour.
I've only had a car for 3 years. Maybe that's why this started.
Yes, did the purchase of the car coincide with a new shower policy? Having seen the car go through the roly thing that for some reason you don't know the name of, even though the name pretty much creates itself. That's right. You sort of think, I want to create my own domestic version of this with my hands.
I don't... Yeah.
Do you have a little sign when you go into the bathroom that says, stop? Once you get... Do you edge forward, waiting? Stop. And you've got to do it quickly, because you know the thing's going to beep, beep, and you've got to get out again. So, David, it's time to take a guess.
What do you think?
It's truly horrible. But I want it to be true, and I'm an optimist in life, so I'll say it's true.
I can't go with that. I mean, if it is true, then it's really disturbing and frightening and all those other things that you scare your kids with.
My instinct is that it's a lie.
OK,
So
you're saying it's a lie. Well,
yes.
Miles, were you telling the truth, Miles, or were you telling a lie?
It is true.
Yes. Almost unbelievably, it's true. Every time Miles showers, he must adhere to his strict system for drying himself. So, Barry, what is Mike to you?
This is Mike, who is one of the 3 kings who came to visit me at Christmas.
OK. Miles, what is Mike to you?
This is Mike. We were once told off by our neighbour because our snowman was using up too much snow.
Right. And Lee, what's your relationship with Mike?
This is Mike, and last year I ordered my Christmas turkey from his farm, but I never got to eat it because I formed an unbreakable bond with the bird.
So there we have it. Barry's Christmas king, Miles's fellow snow hog, or Lee's turkey trader. David's team, where would you like to begin?
So, Barry, your story is unclear at the moment. Are you saying that you're the baby Jesus?
No, it was Christmas, and 3 kings visited me.
What countries were they king of?
They were not kings in the regal sense at all.
In what sense were they kings?
In sense of their name.
Their surname was King?
Yes.
I get it now. Suddenly it's more plausible.
Here we go again. What are the names of the 3 kings?
Mike.
Phew!
Tony.
Tony King.
And Dennis.
Dennis King.
Dennis King.
It's a very warm memory I've got of them visiting. I was in hospital.
They visited you in hospital?
Yes.
Can we ask the nature of your hospital visit, or is that too personal a question?
Oh, there might be people eating and watching this.
There won't be anyone watching it, but there might be people eating.
I was bandaged up extensively.
Like a mummy?
I was. That's true.
You were bandaged all over?
Yes.
But you don't think it appropriate to say why?
Well, if you insist.
Yes, yes we do.
Eczema.
Oh.
Happy Christmas time. Happy Christmas time.
Happy Xmas.
Right, what about Miles?
OK, Miles, you and Mike were making a snowman together.
A neighbour was very cross with us because our snowman had used too much snow.
Set the scene. Where were you making the snowman?
Northampton.
So you live in Northampton?
No, I don't live in there. Mike lives in Northampton.
So...
And I was staying in Northampton.
And why were you staying with Mike?
Yes, because he rents rooms to actors.
So what was the play you were doing in Northampton?
It was called The Way of the World.
Right. And you were staying with Mike?
That's right, yeah.
How did the topic of building a snowman with this relative stranger
Say relative stranger. I
brought
was staying in Mike's house for 2.5 months. What would happen? I would go back to the digs after the show, and Mike would often still be up and say, "Oh, I've just opened a bottle, and do you want a glass?" So I'd sit and we'd chat about how did it go, and I'd say, "Oh, Mike, it was another absolute triumph." And,
So you got to know Mike, and then one day it snowed, and Mike said, "We're friends now."
And at that point, words weren't necessary. You both looked at each other. Come on, Mike.
So that it snowed.
Yeah.
And who brings up the subject of building a snowman?
Oh, well, Mike smokes, so he would go outside on the doorstep, and one night
he noticed the snow.
Well, he hadn't looked out the window at that point because I was telling him theatrical anecdotes, so he was absolutely riveted. He would have no reason to look anywhere other than straight at, whichever part of my body I was using to tell the story.
Which parts of your body can you use to tell stories?
He's a proper actor. He tells stories with his whole body.
It's not just neck-up cynicism.
But so Mike hadn't noticed the snow. He went outside.
He said, "Do you know it's snowing?" And so I wandered out, and I was like, "Oh wow, I haven't made a snowman for ages." And we were talking about making snowman, and I said, "You know that thing when you start rolling snow and you can make a snowman really big really quickly because you roll it and it starts picking up." And I started demonstrating.
But only if the snow has already lain and you said it's snowing. Thank you.
Yeah, but how?
I think what you're underestimating, Miranda, is the length of Miles's anecdote. It starts snowing, and then the anecdote finishes. It's about 6 feet of it.
Now it seems more plausible.
Yes. Yeah. Right, and then what happens?
I used the snow from probably about 3 or 4 houses. I've used all that snow to make one enormous, ridiculously large snowman.
And then what happened? Because then there was an altercation.
When I went out the house the next morning, a chap that lived like 2 doors down said, "Did you know who built the snowman?" I said very proudly, "I built this snowman." And he said, "Well, you've used up all the snow, haven't you?"
Does this house have a back garden?
It does, but the back garden is multiple, lots and lots of locks, whereas the front one, you wanted a cigarette, so you just...
Why did he have so many locks on his back door?
Well, because people are more likely to break into the back... You must know this. People are more likely to break into the back of the house than the front. Yeah.
Now then, Lee's story.
Lee and your bird.
Mike sold you a turkey, is that right?
No, I went to his farm to choose a turkey, but I never got to eat it because I formed an unbreakable bond with that bird.
And it's here tonight!
What was the nature of this bond?
I went to the farm in around about beginning of November, and you choose your bird, and then I was driving past again, and I thought I'd just pop in, have a look at my bird, and so he showed me, and that's when I had a proper look at it, and it looked back at me, and there was something about the look that that he gave me that just made me think I don't want to kill him and eat him. So
did you immediately feel that?
No. This was after we'd had dinner, and it was about the 3rd day, I think.
So what did you do to save the bird's life?
I said to Mike, change of plan. I will take it home.
What did you have for Christmas dinner that year?
We had turkey, but not that turkey.
So did you say, "I'll take him as a pet,
and I'll kill
that one, chop its head off"? Because he won't give me the time of day.
So where do you keep a turkey?
In the first place, in the shed. I cleared away all the sharp implements.
A bit of potpourri in a bowl.
Look, if you're not going to take my story seriously, Stephen, I don't want to talk to you.
How did your wife react? She was
well, she, as you know, lives in the shed as well, so she was... she wasn't happy, and she said, "I think it's time I made a move into what she calls the house." So, I let her in the house.
What did you call the turkey?
Istanbul.
Istanbul? Why?
It's in Turkey.
Turkey.
Right, so, David's team. Is Mike Barry's Christmas king, Miles' his fellow snow hog, or Lee's turkey trader?
I'm all about Miles.
Yeah.
In every way.
I think it's Barry.
Do you?
Do you?
Do we think Lee is definitely not...
We think Lee is definitely not true. So you think it's Miles?
I think it's Miles.
Stephen's saying Miles.
Sometimes I'm saying Miles, sometimes I'm saying Barry. I'm confused.
It's Barry.
You say it's Barry? OK. Mike, would you please reveal your true identity?
Yeah, I'm the Mike King with the three kings who visited Barry on Christmas Day.
Yes, Mike is Barry's Christmas king. Thanks very much, Mike. Thank you.
Whilst on holiday in South Africa, I had a 2-minute conversation with what I thought was my wife, only to discover that a small hippo had wandered into the bedroom.
David's team. What do you make of that?
Miles, describe your wife to us.
Tall, slender, statuesque.
So did the hippo had a very similar voice to your wife?
The hippo was just sort of moving gently around.
They're known for that.
not in an especially close proximity.
What was the conversation about, and how did you go 2 minutes?
I'll tell you what the conversation was about. It was about me, and I was doing most of the talking, which obviously contributed to my
So
confusion.
where, in fact, was your wife?
I don't know where she was. She was just not...
Have you ever seen your wife again?
So where were you? I'm guessing that this is a safari scenario, am I right?
It was sort of on the outskirts of Cape Town.
Describe the nature of the structure you were in.
Right.
Is it a building? Is it on the 4th floor of a...
Did the hippo have to get in a lift?
OK, well, it's mainly bungalows. The resort is a collection of sort of bungalow buildings, largely A-frame wooden buildings with a kind of thatch roof.
Why were the doors so big a hippo could get in?
Well, it's a small hippo, isn't it?
How small is a small hippo?
Like George from Rainbow, or...?
That yay big.
So the hippo was only that big?
Yeah.
It's about the size of a Labrador.
Well, let's be clear. Is that its width or its length?
That is its width, as viewed from behind, and I suspect from the front.
This is worse. Your wife's like the back end of a hippo.
This A-frame bungalow has how many rooms in it?
It's got 2 rooms. At one end, there's a big bathroom, and then there's the rest of it is a very big open-plan bedroom, and it has sort of seating area in the middle of it, and it has a bed at the far end, a very robust bed, and...
Bed you could make love to a hippo on?
That is speculation, but I wouldn't bet against it.
OK, we're in the bungalow, OK?
I'm in the ensuite end.
Yes.
OK. And I'd been shaving and then, you know, shouting over my shoulder. And I realised after a while, I'm not getting a lot back here. And I turned round and I saw that I had not been moaning about my career to my wife, but to a baby hippo.
How long was this baby hippo?
Well, I only saw it from the back, but I imagine, statistically, it'd be, what, probably 3 times as long as it was wide?
OK. So broadly, so it was a sort of as long as this desk?
Nobody measures
or
animals by width.
Well, you
You
do.
didn't go, oh, I saw a massive snake, it was this big.
So what are you going to say? Is he telling the truth?
I think based on the width, it's a lie.
I think that was a panicked reach for width.
On the basis of the panicked reach for width. I think we'll say it's a lie.
You're going to say that's a lie? OK. Miles, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
It is a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Miles didn't mistake his wife for a hippo whilst on holiday.